current day. Tracks and points, but the cars are not. They're from 1998, when the racing was heavy and hard. Everyone had tobacco sponsors, and no one grow high to ride the rail. Back when it was all about raising hell, turning left and brazen down. Gonna read from where my mind is shining and ready to. The classic racing style, right to your gunners new. You'll see drivers you remember that you love, and some that you love, hey. See, I was found gaming racing series NASCAR Heat 5 in 1998.
All right, back here for the NASCAR Heat 5 1998 mod. We're at Darlington this week. This is going to be a tough one. I never ever got the feeling from the car in practice. As you can see up there, a 31. My goal was 29.9. I never got under a 30. And then for qualifying, I really screwed the pooch and put it 30.9. I qualified 20th, so somebody had to go to the back to put me 19th. But we got our win at Homestead, so we're in the chase. And we'll see if we can kind of... I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I just don't want to finish outside the top 30. Just some quick points through practice. As practice went on and I put more and more laps on, my tires went away fast. Like the first couple laps, I got away with just letting off the gas going into the corner and just kind of coasting through and picking up. And by about lap 6 or 7, like I was having to hit the brakes in the corner to slow down. I hit the wall twice coming out of 4, and those were my 2 fastest laps. That was the 30.1 was when I hit the wall coming out of 4. So yeah, I don't really know what to expect here. I loosened up my car just a smidge in practice, and or in qualifying I went from tight to loose, and I hated it, so I'm gonna go back to tight here. But yeah, we'll start 19th. I think we're going to have issues. It's a very narrow track. It's big, narrow. If you've never watched Darlington or seen Darlington, it's kind of different. Turns 1 and 2 are huge and much wider than turns 3 and 4. It's a smaller turn and more narrow. But yeah, it's narrow all the way around. Like there's just kind of 1 or 2 grooves. So it'll be interesting. We'll see how this one plays out. Darlington at night. I like that. Chad Little, not as fast as expected. Dick Trickle has been dominant all weekend, which I passed him in practice, so I don't know. And then Dale Jarrett crashed her in qualifying, and he'll go to the back. So Dick Trickle, someone to keep an eye on. We'll start 18th in this one, right behind Dick Trickle. So I guess we'll see exactly how fast he is. And get this one underway. Right next to Dave Marcus, Ricky Rudd. And again, in practice, we didn't really run around guys. Like we were maybe 1 at a time, but certainly never more than, certainly not 20. Dick Trickle, right there. Rick Mast, who's had a couple good runs here the last couple weeks. And of course, if you're just now tuning into this series, holy crap, try and race as clean as possible. Certainly not causing any wrecks on purpose. Using the current points standings, or the current points for races, and running a 1998 season. I guess a season with the 1998 cars under the current point system. So now you're caught up with the gimmicks. Go back, watch the old videos. There's some good ones in there. There's some good races. Oh boy, that is now twice coming into 3 that we've had some issues with people. First, Dick Trickle, who's fast, and now Rick Mast, who has a gun, according to last week's thumbnail. Rick Mast raced his way into the chase right now, I believe, but if turn 4 last lap was any indication, oh, that's Ernie Irvin wrecking on the backstretch. No caution. Okay, now they are going to bring one out. Boy, I tell you what, I'm barely tapping these guys. So that's 3 people I've tapped, and they've all tried to go around. So just something to keep an eye on. We're not going to pit here. It was just a little bit too early. Yeah, we're up to 15th. Lap 5 of 26, and we'll cross lap 6 here. Bobby Hamilton out front, and Bobby's had some good runs lately. Why am I trying to talk about guys? This track is so narrow. I don't have time to talk about drivers and what they're doing out here. Oh boy, Johnny Benson takes that one. And I didn't even touch you, Johnny. I did not touch him. Nothing vibrated. Nothing vibrated on that one. Yeah, they're going a lot slower than I went in practice and qualifying. Holy cow. I mean, we are just up these guys' poopers going into 3. Three wide. Michael Waltrip, Ricky Rudd. And us! No! Oh boy. No caution. This one stays green. I feel like we had to spear Robbie Gordon there to really make that happen. And I gotta tell you, I think that's the first. I know we wrecked at Martinsville last week, but that felt like the first real wreck we've been in this season. The steering wheel just jerked left as soon as the green came out. All right, so now we're last, and we got some fighting to do. If we want to get back up through this field, of course, heading in 3 wide here at this track in the middle, I'd rather not. This kind of will allow us to see who's running where. Joe Nemechek had a good start to the season. Kind of been struggling. Ken Schrader has been a chase car. But if he finishes back here, not going to be great for him. Kenny Wallace missed the race last week. He was in the chase, then he missed the race, and then he was out of the chase. Robbie Gordon, we just got up close and personal with him in that last caution. Ernie Irvin, who was solely responsible for the first caution of the day, back here in 28th, trying to fight his way back through. Got a gaggle of cars up here. Rick Mass able to hang on to it. Dude, Mike Skinner or whoever this is up here, absolutely holding this line up big time. Oh, Mike Skinner is so slow. Johnny, hang on to it. We are hitting a lot of people this week. Little loose coming out of 4 there. Get out of the way, Mike Skinner. You're holding everybody up. And now we can focus on going forward. Don't worry about what's behind us. Mike Skinner gonna hold them all back. Up to 16th. Jeffrey Bodine up here in 14. Let's see some stats on Jeffrey Bodine's season. Not too bad.
Careful, still there. You got this, you're clear there. That was a better one.
Ricky Rudd was going to be who I was for this season because I like that Tide car. Ward Burton out in front, and that would certainly shake up the chase as he is not currently a chase eligible driver. He is outside the top 16 and has not won a race. So if he can hang on and get this win here, that's going to be a massive shakeup. To the point you'd think that would have to put him in the top 16 as it is. Oh boy, we're whipping it around there. Car wanted to come around real bad. Up to 12. 6 laps to go. Bobby Labonte, who started up front. And there you see, like, we were able just to kind of coast it into the corners the first 5 or 6 laps of this run. And as this run goes on, we're going to have to hit the brakes heading into turn 3 and 4 a bit. Bobby making it difficult for us. We're trying to get into the top 10.
Careful, still there. All right, you're clear there.
Good God. Oh man, hands are hurting bad.
5 to go, driver.
Definitely looks like a couple guys up here in the top 10 who have not been consistently great this year. I really thought I could sail it off in there on that one. Maybe I have to get off the gas early. I really don't want to hit the brakes. Just one more position for a top 10 for us. 3 laps to go. There's Mark Martin. Here's some stats on Mark's season so far. Pretty good coming into today. Just wheel is absolutely fighting me right here.
Careful, still there. All clear.
A top 10 right now with 1 lap to go. I think we could have wrecked him to get 9th, but well, we'll take 10th. in this race. That was a tough one. That was a tough one. That was, we were grinding. We were grinding that one, guys. Winner's going to be Ward Burton. Going to pick up the win. Or excuse me, he's got the fastest lap. He led the most laps. And we're going to take a look at the results right here. And we'll show you at the point standings. Dale Jarrett gained quite a few spots. Looks like 26 spots. Ernie Irvin, something happened to Ernie during this race. Did not finish well. He dropped 20 spots. Let's take a look at who finished where here at Darlington and the point standings. All right, let's take a look at this, or how they finished for this race at Darlington. And you see Ward Burton getting the win, qualifying himself for the chase. Then you got a list of the usual suspects up here in the top 5. Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte. Bobby Hamilton with his best race of the season. Bill Elliott continues to be consistent. Kyle Petty and David Green, 2 guys that usually aren't around the top 10, pulling out top 10s. And then we finish out 10th. Mark Martin, Hutch Strickland, a good run for him. Johnny Benson had some contact with him. Jeff Green, his best finish of the season so far. 21st through 30. Jeff Burton in there, not a great run for them. Rick Mass just snuck into the chase. Now it looks to be maybe back out. Ernie Irvin also had a run in with Ernie Irvin, and it looks like that may have wound up costing him a good run today. Bottom 10, Ken Schrader was in the chase. He's likely not anymore because these bad races, just one bad race, and you're losing so many points, you know, doing that. So you really kind of have to be consistent and be running in the top 10 to 20 just to kind of get those points each and every week. And speaking of the point standing, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Bobby Labonte still out in front over Mark Martin, pacing the field pretty well, as he's been pretty consistent and picked up those bonus points, led a lot of laps, had a lot of fast laps this season. Labonte, Martin, Gordon, Terry Labonte, and then we're right there in 5th at 220 with Earnhardt and Wallace right behind us. Irvin takes a huge dip. He's had 24th, 16th, and 29th the last 3 weeks. Ward Burton gets in. He's up to 12th in the points. Johnny Benson been consistent. Only one top 10 for him at Martinsville, but he's been pretty good, so that's 13th. Bill Elliott, 12th, 14th, 15th, 4th, and 7th after 27, 27, 35th to start the season. That'll put him in the chase. Ricky Craven, Jeff Bodine, the last 2 people clutching on. But Bobby Hamilton, who's been hot lately, 9th, 8th, 23rd, and then 6th. So 3 top 10 finishes in his last 4 races for Bobby Hamilton. Mast falls out. Ken Schrader falls out. And then you kind of have Kyle Petty maneuvering around. Kenny Wallace missed that race, then got 26. Ted Musgrave did not qualify this week, so that continues his run of bad luck. But yeah, 151, 147, 46, 44, 36. These guys still kind of right there. I'd say even Kyle Petty at 117 probably still in the running for this. Expanded stats, you can see, everything pretty consistent here. Ward Burton, his first top 5 of the season, vaults him up. And that win, just getting that win shows you what you can do there. So that's kind of where we stand with the points. Another fascinating thing is number of times 30th plus. You see Brett Bodine down here, but he had that good run. Then these guys, seven races where they've been in that danger zone. And, we don't keep track of 20 to 30. That's another thing we don't keep track of. So, yeah, that's going to be it for that. And, it's been pretty interesting, a tough race for us. We had some run-ins with some people, and, that wound up being a bit of a problem. But I don't think anything will come of it. So, wait a second. It looks like I'm getting some potential tweets. I'm getting tweeted at about what just happened. Let's take a look at this tweet here from Johnny Benson. Okay. Oh, okay, Johnny. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and that wasn't the only one. Ernie Irvin had something to say too. Let's see what Ernie had to say. Okay, so I might have made a couple enemies this week, but all right. So Benson and Irvin are 2 guys we're gonna have to watch out for going forward, and it ain't gonna get pretty because next week we're going to Bristol, folks. So we're bound to run into some people there and maybe make even more drivers mad. But all in all, a top 10 finish, decent qualifying, had the wreck, made some enemies this week apparently, and we'll see how I bounce back next week. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want. Just enjoy your YouTube experience, and we'll see you next week.